Hi, this is Dr. Kimberley Linert, and you're listening to Incredible Life Creator Podcast. My guest today is Maria Haxton. Maria was born and raised in the Soviet Union, and she left her country in 1980. Growing up in a family of educators and artists, her passion to teach and write was born early. Either speaking or to motivate and encourage, or writing to build up people to live their best life, she shares her own struggles and challenges with an open heart. She has an ongoing TV show, Real Talk with Maria and Friends. Maria is an advocate for justice reform. She and her team also hold workshops and seminars for the victims of sexual trauma. She also has a handmade artisan European company, FINNTASTIC Cookies. Welcome to the podcast, Maria.
Oh, so good to be with you all. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much for having me today. I'm super excited and looking forward to this awesome time together today. So thank you so much for having me.
Yes, and as I was reading all those things, I'm thinking, how does one woman do that? All those things.
I know, I got a clone, okay, in the closet. Yeah. I should, but you touched on interesting point right away, and not to be too preachy, because you can't take a preacher and a preacher, but not to be too preachy. It's all in discipline, right? We all have equal amount of time in a day. We all have equal amount of hours, minutes, and so on and so forth. So my mom always told me, if somebody else can do it, then you can do it. And if they do it better than you, then you learn from them, and then you do it. So I kind of grew up in that kind of a philosophy, that manage your time, be disciplined, set goals, and then just go and cross them off the list. So that's what I do.
And it sounds like that is what you do. So why don't you just start out by telling us how you started out? You came from Soviet Union. You're here in the U.S. now.
Oh, yes. I met my husband, who is American, in Russia back in 1979 when I was only 5 years old. Okay, that's just a little joke. But anyway, I just want to double check something, Kimberly, because this is Corona, COVID-19 stuff. Do you see me clearly? Nothing is blocking me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Anyway, I'm coming from my bunker here. Okay. So yes, 1979, I met my husband. He was on a visit in Russia. And then in 1980, we married. And he lived in Europe at the time. So he moved me to Finland. I lived in Finland for a year. I learned the language real quick. And then in 1981, we came to the United States. In 1981, from 1981 to 1986, we lived in America. And then we moved back to Finland. That's when my son was born. That's when I had a business, cookies, bakery, consulting business, language business, translating business, all kind of businesses, everything. I was very young, very new, but very eager, and loved being around people, loved helping people. So I just enjoyed being around people, and that's what I think is the key. If you really enjoy what you do, you never work. You just have good time, and if you are getting paid, that's just a bonus. So being in Finland from 1986 to 1992, then we get back to America, 1992, and then my daughter is born, Nicole. And this is where my story really begins, of my change as a person. As you know, I'm a minister. As you know, I'm a Christian. At that time, in 1993, in the United States, I get saved. That's what they call it in Christianese. And but literally, it's just you recognize who God is, what He did, and you just come to Him as you are and say, okay, here I am, here you are, let's do it. And that's what I did, 1993. And from that point on, my dreams began to really blossom. I always wanted to be a teacher. My mama, my daddy were teachers. I always want to be a teacher, full-time basically, but I never got an opportunity academically to become one. And all of a sudden, I found myself teaching Bible studies, teaching women's groups, and the dream just came alive. And at that time, you know, like, okay, but I am also translator. I want to do this. I want to do that. And the opportunities start pouring to me. Like the book came along to translate. Another opportunity to teach came along, Russian language. So I am kind of here to tell everybody who is listening, if you truly, 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 are you there?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. If you truly, truly, truly keep a positive attitude and surround yourself with, so to speak, good vibes, your dreams are going to blossom. People are going to come to you. People are going to find you. People are going to be attracted to you. And I'm not saying that too much into positive thinking or anything like this, which is great. What I'm saying is just be you. Be how you are. Be happy how you are. And all of a sudden, people will be there. They just want you. They want to bless you, or they want to talk to you, and so on and so forth. And then the doors will be open. And that's what happened to me. All of a sudden, everything began to open. And I'm very happy about that. So this is kind of into a little bit insight into how I began to write and teach and be impactful on other people's lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and you want to talk about your TV show, what that's about?
Sure. This is awesome. I'm glad you asked. It was a few years ago. The opportunity dropped in my lap, literally dropped. I had that secret dream, of course, you know, you don't tell nobody, you don't want to sound like a fool. Oh gosh, I would like to be on TV. I would like to talk to people, larger audience, but who am I? What am I? I can't do that. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, just keeping it to myself and in prayer, you know. And all of a sudden, I meet a woman on a women's retreat, which I always tell every woman, don't shy away from women's retreats. Don't shy away from being with other women, because you never know who is going to be your connection, who is going to be you, you know, who is going to be doing it. So anyhow, so I'm at that retreat and I'm talking, and all of a sudden, I just blurted my dream. And there is a woman, and she says, I have a door, and you can walk through it. And the rest is history. We started taping, we started doing it, we started in Macon, and then we moved to Atlanta. It just became an incredible platform to truly advocate for women, for entrepreneurial women, for ministers, for sexually abused, for imprisoned. Because you need a platform, you need to get your message across, you know. And I'm so happy and so fortunate and blessed to be able to do it through the TV show. So it's awesome.
That
so
is
happy.
Really awesome. So, how do people find the TV show? Is it an internet show, or is it on the channels, or?
Yeah, sure. The best thing, of course, if you find me, and then I will link you to the TV episodes, how they're taped. We're on YouTube, we are on Facebook, through links and all that. So if you find me, Maria Haxton, on Facebook and friend me, I have maybe a couple of hundred spaces left, almost up to 5,000. Mm-hmm. So hurry up, friend me, or go to the professionals, to my ministry, which is Maria Haxton Ministries International. It's also a Facebook page. You can find me there and like and follow. You will be up to date on everything. Right now, we are on hiatus because of lockdown. We can't go to the studio. We can't tape anything. So we have been releasing some previous episodes and, of course, doing Zoom conferences and such stuff. And getting to know people, getting to know more people who like to work with us, who like to collaborate with us. Because when lockdown is lifted and we will be doing events and seminars and such things, we need people on our platform. We need speakers. We need audience, because we have a great message. We have a great hope-filled message, and people need to hear it.
Yes, they certainly do. And I'm so glad you're doing that. And I'm so glad the door was opened.
Yes. So are we. Greatly happy.
So what made you decide to revisit the cookie idea? So you had the bakery in Finland. Okay. Now it's back again.
This is so funny. it's kind of a little bit sad at the beginning, but I gotta tell people, I believe in transparency. If I wanted to impact somebody's life and they see me how I am, they need to know where I come from. How did it all happen? How this package came together? So with cookies, of course, I mentioned that in Finland we had bakery, my husband and I, coffee shop, and all this kind of stuff. So a few years ago, my husband took ill, unfortunately, and he got seriously sick, and it was impacting his digestion. He could not eat anything, and he is a cookie monster. He loves cookies, and that poor soul, my husband, whom I have been married for over 40 years, can you believe it?
Mhm.
He just, he just went kind of like, wow, my lifestyle changing. So I was just sad. I tell you right now, I was just sad. And it's okay to be sad. If you're sad, if your circumstances are sad, please, listeners, it's okay to be sad, but only for a moment, only to find your bearings, only to like, okay, I'm sad now, something is happening, but what do I do with that sadness?
Mm-hmm.
And I decided that I need to bake for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I created gluten-free, basically out of air cookie. Yeah, I kid you not, basically out of air. And it was incredible. And he loved it. And we started giving it to our friends, and they're like, what? Yeah, we know you can bake, but this is crazy good. And this is gluten-free, and this is vegan, and this is this and that. I said, yeah, it's all good. We'll start selling it. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should. So there goes Maria, hurry up, got the license, got all the paperwork from the state of Georgia, start baking, start selling. So basically turned a very sad and very adverse situation, not only to bring joy to my spouse, but also to create that extra fulfillment. Always look for fulfillment. Mm-hmm. Extra fulfillment, and the fulfillment brought extra income. At the beginning, not much, obviously, and we're still kind of at the beginning. We're looking into commercial license right now, mm-hmm. but we're doing it. We're not sitting. We're not just, in our sorrow. We're like turning the rain into the rainbow, mm-hmm. Especially, yeah, turn the rain into the rainbow. My original, anyhow, now your original. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but to people of faith, I want to just touch a little bit. Sometimes we get so confused. Then if we have faith, we should just sit and we should just wait. And somehow some miracle will take place, mm-hmm. and all of this prosperity and all of this influence, we're just going to drop on us. But that's not how God works. If that would be the case, Jesus didn't have to come. God would be just in heaven, boom, magic wand, everybody saved, everything is good. Mm-hmm. That's not how it works. So when we are dealt a rain, we need to sit down and we need to approach that like forecasters do, weather people do. They look at the data and then they forecast what's going to happen. So are we. Let's sit down, let's see. That's part of my life coaching, of course, business. Because let's sit down, let's examine, let's see what's going on, what's happened, and how we can get out of it and get better and not bitter. So, sounds like a cliche, but it works. It really is the case.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I heard actually Joel Bauer say that a problem equals happiness. Because when you have a problem and you even have the beginning of a solution, you start to feel happy and good about yourself. And when you totally get the solution, then you're happy until the next problem comes. But that's kind of life.
Exactly. And then the next, exactly, that's a cycle. That's, my husband always loves to say, I love that saying, there is only one thing is for certain in life, that there is nothing is for certain.
Yes.
Nothing is for sure. That is for sure. That nothing is for sure.
So, exactly.
And this is, right now with this lockdown and everything, people should not just, visit Netflix and Prime Videos, and they should just look for the opportunity to better themselves and enrich themselves in knowledge and empower themselves. This is a great opportunity for that. Yeah. So I'm taking every second that I can to get myself in a better position with knowledge, with wisdom, then when I come out of this lockdown, people who are in my circle can benefit from that, because it's always about others. That's how it is. You know, we do not live in a bubble. And I think a lot of people feel unhappy because they live in that bubble that, okay, when I'm going to get this job, I'm going to be happy. When I'm going to get this promotion, I'm going to be happy. When I'm going to get this house, I'm going to be happy. When I'm going to get married, I'm going to be happy. No, no. You now is the happy, and everything else will fall in place. It just will. It did for me, it did for you, and it will do it for everybody.
So true.
So true. So true.
So, you were talking about earlier about your platform, and there's several things that you give back on, women's issues and imprisonment issues. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely, I do. I speak from experience. The situation that occurred in my own family brought my attention to the prison system, justice system, and justice reform system. And I didn't like what I saw at all. And again, it was such a sad moment for me. And I decided, okay, I just can't as a human being with this knowledge now do nothing about it. So I educated myself. I educated myself locally and state-wise and federally. What is the laws? What is going on? No system is perfect. The United States isn't either, but we can do something about it. So I got really involved in specifically in justice reform portion post imprisonment, when people coming back home. What will they do? How will they re-enter society? What are the opportunities for younger people, for younger male and females? Where is this grants for schooling? Where is the jobs? So that's when I started the nonprofit Freedom Foundation. We're just beginning. I am still getting information, getting in touch with people that will help us to do that. But at least I am doing something. And with the sexual trauma you touched also that I am involved, that is my own life story. I have been sexually traumatized from basically age of 4. I have been molested. I have been raped multiple times. I have been gang raped. I have been kidnapped and held hostage. So all of that happened in my own life. And let me tell you, and let me tell our audience, your pain is somebody else's solution. Don't bury your pain. Embrace it. You've suffered. You earned the marks. I always call it the rank marks. They are the rank marks. You earned them. Mm-hmm. Jesus had them backlashes on the back. We have them over here. And so take what you suffered and make something good of it. I was very timid to even come forward with all that I have suffered, because you're risking backlash of judgment. You're risking situation that you may not be able to handle. People begin to ask questions, or how you come out and how you came out of the situation. How did you build yourself back up? It requires you opening up your wounds. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we're not ready, and that's okay. That's all right. But I encourage everybody, find the pain, you have it, everybody does, I did, and then turn it around for the benefit of somebody else. We are in preparation for the next seminar, actually, and gonna have a good platform of people who will gonna talk how to get through sexual trauma and how to get out of sexual trauma, which abortion is a sexual trauma too. And I'm very open about my own life. In the younger years, I made a lot of mistakes, and I am guilty of such act. Back in Soviet Union, it was the only form of birth control. And so we fall prey to that. And again, I was so timid to open up myself publicly about that issue. And I be honest, it took me a lot of years. And then I had that feeling that I have to. There are others. And if they see me on the other side, if they see me in my success, in my overcoming, in my victory, they know they can do it too. Again, we're coming back. It's always about somebody else. You need to. You have to.
And I'm so glad that you have, and you've spoken this so people can feel open to do that or reach out to get the help they need to get through it and to heal.
Yeah.
So
healing is everything. And I always felt that it was almost divine intervention in my life that God gave me that platform of TV. Mm-hmm. And from that point, he opened up many, many other doors, including opportunities to mentor and life coach. And because there is so much in the experience behind me, and people need to know, how did I navigate it? How did I came out? How did I went through and came out on the other end shining? Mm-hmm. And people relate to somebody who understands them from the experience point. Yeah. So that's why I am so glad that I can be a positive influence on people who are dealing with sexual trauma, dealing with post-incarceration, with all those major issues, that they can hear me and others like me and understand that there is hope and there is future. And the future starts today. It's now.
Yes.
Yes. So good.
And I want to go back to the your foundation for the people coming out of incarceration. Yeah. When you did your research, what did you find was happening to these people coming out? Because I know with all this going on with the virus, there actually some states are letting a lot of people out. And I'm thinking to myself, where are they going? You know, well, where do they live?
Very good question. And this is the key. The system is so broken that I am, as an advocate and proponent of release and back into society, especially non-violent first-timers, younger offenders, especially. You got to cut them at the pass. You got to catch them, take them out of the life. I am concerned that there is no system. There is no way to get them back into society. And we have to trust our probation system and parole system to do it. And I sympathize with those officers and those offices. Mm-hmm. They are so overwhelmed. They are so understaffed. They are so underfunded that I am so concerned how they can even handle. We need to let people out. Absolutely, we must. It's humanitarian crisis. But where and how we're going to monitor? And some of those poor people, and I'm talking about nonviolent, I'm talking about first-timers, I'm talking about really maybe honest folk that made a poor choice or got dealt a bad card. It happens in life. They are lost. They don't know how to live. They may not have family. They may not have friends. They need us. They need foundations. They need people who can point them to safety and to school them and to grant them opportunity to go back to school. There is so much work. I can talk on that subject forever. But right now, immediate is the probation system is the safety net. That absolutely they have to have a place where they live. They have to have transportation. They have to have at least an effort to find the employment. Now it's very tough, but the safety net isn't that system right now. It's only the probation system, and that they truly have to monitor and help the people with mental issues. There is a lot of them mentally disturbed because of what they see inside. Inside is not pretty. And there are a lot of bad things inside. And a lot of good folk that made mistakes are coming out with all this amazing baggage, mental baggage. They will need help. They do. And right now, I don't see any help, unfortunately. but it fires me up first and foremost to do more. And as soon as this is over, we are going to do even more that we were able to do. Right now, we need to stop maybe talking and start acting. We start lobbying. We go to the Congress and we go to Senate, and we begin to advocate how to take people from inside to outside and give them productive lives. Because again and again and again, everyone has that awesomeness inside of them. Everyone. Somebody just got undiscovered. They never were discovered. And their paths went so wrong. But we need to save them. We need to at least give them opportunity to be productive people. But right now, bad news, unfortunate.
Well, I agree. Every person has something really special inside them. I believe that 100%. You come into this world for a purpose. You want to find out what that passion and purpose is. Because when you do, you're going to find the happiness. You're going to find the fulfillment. You're going to make a lot less bad choices too when you're actually living in your passion.
Oh, absolutely. You are so correct on that, especially when you touched on the choices. Because we all have something, like you just mentioned. We have passions, we have desires. People want to do good. They do. They really do. But the layers of decisions, adverse circumstances, they sometimes feel that there is no hope anymore left. Who will give that hope? We got to give people hope. We just do, for the betterment of entire society, for the betterment of entire nation. We can't look at those people like they're garbage. We can't dismiss them. We need to help. We do. They are no different. Incarcerated people are no different than any of us who made a mistake in life. We just didn't go behind bars. That's all.
Yeah. And just one other thing I want to say about that is just it's the reverence that we should have for each person.
Yes.
Regardless of how it looks from the outside, just the reverence we have because you're a living soul.
Oh.
And you're lovable and
yes,
wonderful person. Yes. So
yes. My mom, I spoke to you and the listeners, that she was a teacher. And I remember when she was coming home and would cry. And I would ask, why? Because she would encounter a student with a great potential and a horrific circumstances. And she would be so broken that this person with so much potential is living in the circumstances that will never give them an opportunity to be what they are truly should be. And I guess I inherited that from her. Every time I see somebody down, I gotta pick them up. I don't care what happened. I don't care what they've done. I just need to do something to make their life better. And I think that's what the key is. Every person deserves someone in their life to believe in them.
Yes.
And if I believe in one, or I believe in 100, that's okay. 1 or 100 can be better off.
I agree. So let's change a little bit here. 40 years married. How do you stay 40 years married?
Well, real secret. You let him have his argument. You let him have his TV show. You let him hold the remote control.
Okay.
Yes, you do. And honest, look at your spouse, that they too, just as you, deserve a good spouse. That's the key. Again, I'm going to use my mama's wisdom. My mama was a wise woman. And she said, when I married, don't be a sack of rocks on his back that it will push him down. Be a staff in his hands so he can lean on. And I remember that.
That is a beautiful analogy.
Yeah. That's what my mom, and she did it for my brothers. That was not only for the girl. No, 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 no. That wasn't for the wife. It was also for the husband, who I have two brothers. One passed on, sadly, but I still have one.
Mm-hmm.
And she said the same to them. It's the spouse. It's just the spouse. Be help. Remember, they deserve a good spouse as you deserve a good spouse. So that's really a secret. It's less selfish, more together oriented. Selflessness, and if I can be philosophical for a moment,
Mm-hmm.
selflessness is good. I believe in selflessness for sure, but I don't believe in martyrdom.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. So if I'm speaking to somebody right now and your spouse is abusive and you're suffering from that abusive spouse, my mama's advice would not work at this case. This is a different situation you're in. I want to touch on that, especially when we're on lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in an abusive situation, if your marriage is crumbling because you're hiding that you're being beaten or verbally abused and belittled for years and years and years, seek help. Seek help. Seek help. It's not God's will for you to be killed or abused and suffer endlessly. That's not his will. That's a minister in me.
Mm-hmm.
Seek help. Seek someone, and seek that quickly. But in a normal marriage, when you just have tiffs and you have disagreements and you have this, no, just look at your spouse, that they do deserve a good spouse, and be that, and give and take, give and take, give and take, give and take.
That is wonderful advice. So I know you said 40 years marriage, and I haven't been 40 years marriage, but I'm over the 40. So how is life for women over 40, over 50? How does that change?
Oh my goodness gracious. My worst life probably was in my 30s, if I can say that. I had desire and I had no knowledge. My best life is today, honestly. And I am in my 50s. I got married very young. So I can definitely say, and then again, I don't want to be age appropriate, like you, mine was this, you could be different. I really truly want to inspire people. Every age is good. Mm-hmm. And it can be good. But for me, over 50, it's changed. Yes, it did. It changed for the better. I do not like to say change for the worse, because it can be, I'd rather say it's different. Mm-hmm. You go through emotional changes, hormonal changes, mm-hmm. All kind of physical changes. You aging, yes, you are. Mm-hmm. But so are everybody else. Nobody stands still unless they're gone. Mm-hmm. So I find solace that everybody else also aging, okay, and it's okay. And I find great comfort that I am the way I am now, that I'm still able to do stuff and be productive and be inspiring and get inspired from others. Mm-hmm. But I give myself a break nowadays. I do. I manage my time differently. Mm-hmm. I used to have a nickname when I used to do nursing years ago. They nicknamed me Hurricane. They sure did. And because I was in, out, I was everywhere. Nobody knew what I was doing. I was in and out fast. Everything changes like this. Do this, do that. Take on, do it quickly. Move on the next task. Do it quickly. I was like, and now I've changed due to just being older. I can't do that anymore, or I'll kill myself. So I cannot do that. So I now give myself a permission. And I'm very fortunate that I am able to do it. I don't want to sound arrogant to anyone, but I am able to do my own hours in my life and work in my own pace. That is a gift. That is a blessing. That is nothing to boast like, oh, I'm so good and I can do that. Woo, woo, woo. No. I know that not everybody can do it. But what we all can, we can say no. We can always say no.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody, even if you're working 8 to 5, even if you're a CEO of your company and you're working 24/7, again, that's a life coach in me. You still can say no. And you just need to prioritize where and to whom.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to take care of yourself, because yes, life changes when we get older, and we need to take care of ourselves. We do, because we have a lot to give in experience, in wisdom, and we need strength and stamina and energy to do that. So we do need to prioritize our scheduler. That's my biggest thing.
Yes, and I agree. Yeah, the older I get, the more I just want to share and help and, you know, spread and help as many people as possible.
Absolutely.
So, but
Absolutely.
with all these things you've done, you've also written a book. Why don't you
Yes.
tell us about the book?
Oh my goodness gracious. I didn't know if I should talk about my book or I shouldn't talk about my book. But yes, I did. And it's available on Amazon. The title is There Are No Emergency Meetings in Heaven. And I was going through tough time in my life. That was 20 years ago, very tough. And I was so broken. And I heard the phrase in my mind, there are no emergency meetings in heaven. All is known, all is well. And I got startled almost. And I was, what? That is like a title of a book.
Mhm.
And I knew that someday I would write it. And it took me a very long time. I wrote it about a year ago. It basically depicts my life from birth till now. And it speaks extensively on struggles and tragedies and triumphs. It touches on my family. It is such an awesome book, and I got such great feedback from people that it encouraged them, it gave them motivation, it gave them hope, because it is true. There are no emergency meetings in heaven.
Mhm.
God is all knowing, He knows. And I like to say He releases on as need to know basis. That's it.
That's great.
So, if you don't know, then you don't need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that trust and that faith, right? But yes, my book, awesome. It's a short read. It's a long life, but I was able to kind of concise it nicely, make it an easy read. It's very easy read, and it's very transparent. I speak openly who I am, where I come from, what happened to me in my life. It's like you're going to sit down, you're going to open the book, and you're going to hear me speak. That's how I wrote it. I wrote it as I would be talking to you. Exactly. And you would be just asking me questions and I would be sharing. That's how I wrote it. And yeah, Amazon, it's cheap. It's $7 or under. Everything that we get from that book, we don't get much from that book because, fees and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But it helps us. It helps us with platform. It helps us with TV show. It helps, and it will help us more, of course. So it's an awesome read. It's an awesome read, and it's an honest, open story.
Wow. Thank you. And Maria, thank you so much for being on the podcast today and sharing all your wisdom and stories. And I know it's going to help so many people.
I am so grateful, Doctor, that you have me on your show. And I also know for sure that not only that others got blessed, I did. I got so blessed today by being able to share and hopefully make a difference, at least at someone's lives. That's what it's all about, make a difference in somebody else's life. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. And I think we'll end with that. Just make a difference in someone's life. Love you guys. We'll talk to y'all
Love you.
soon.